We may have a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. And welcome back to Chelsea News, the series here on Football Therapy where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea Football Club, giving you my opinion on it, more importantly asking for yours, sometimes multiple videos a day. So, perfect opportunity to ask you guys to subscribe and help me out to the road to 150,000 subscribers. We are nearing 148, I believe. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. If you choose to do so, please do hit the bell, and I appreciate everyone that liked the video. We're going to talk about the Ricketts family. Breaking news has come out that apparently Raine are giving them preferential treatment because they want them to take over Chelsea, or the sale of Chelsea. A breaking story from the Times that we are going to be referencing, or some part of it from the Times Sport. The headline reads like this: breaking exclusive, rival groups bidding for Chelsea are angry at what they see as preferential treatment being shown by the club towards the Ricketts consortium. Okay, we all know there's four preferred bidders going into this final stage of the Chelsea ownership race. There's Todd Boehly's consortium, who we would have seemed or hoped to be the favourite, who's been in since the beginning and has wanted to buy Chelsea for a while, and without going into the details now, he ticks a lot of boxes. There's the Pagliuca, the Boston Celtics owner and Atalanta owner, who came in the latest and, is a sort of maybe, we're not sure. There's Broughton's consortium with the owners of Crystal Palace. That would be difficult to get through because of their shares of Crystal Palace. You could say the same with Pagliuca because he owns Atalanta in terms of Champions League crossover. And of course there's the Ricketts. The Ricketts family, hugely problematic for a lot of reasons. Racist stuff, political stuff, loads of problematic things. Even they're running a sort of their sports franchise has been questioned, and the fans really don't want the Ricketts. And to be honest, the fans were shocked, largely to hear that the Ricketts had got through to this kind of phase, the final phase. Journalists had reported that they're not so shocked because they've got such a big financial package, backed by Griffin as well. Loads of money. A gentleman in the background worth 3 times or 4 times as much as Roman Abramovich, and they own sports teams. And we are thinking Bruce Buck has welcomed them in. We're going to read and reference here some stuff from the Times. So the preferential treatment. One of those shortlisted consortiums fears the rules of the process have been breached. So that's a big statement there, that the rules of the process have been breached. Foul play is afoot, allegedly. After it emerged that Bruce Buck, the Chelsea chairman, had organised the meeting between Tom Ricketts and Paul Canaville, the former Chelsea player. Of course, Paul Canaville was Chelsea's first black player. He's endured abhorrent racism before in his time and has done a lot of good work with the club for anti-discrimination, and he met with the Ricketts family after publicly tweeting like no racists and hashtag say no to Ricketts. They obviously saw that a former Chelsea player, an important player, tweeting that isn't going to help their PR campaign, so they interviewed with him. He actually got a big backlash and some really nasty abuse just for talking to them, and he's like, look, I'm not going to give my blessing on any people, I just spoke to them or whatever. Anyway, that's that story. If the Ricketts family, if they want the Ricketts family to buy the club from Roman Abramovich, just tell the rest of us now and spare us what is an awful lot of hard work, the bid advisor told the Times. So he's saying, look, Bruce Buck and Raine Group here, just welcoming them in, setting up meetings, helping them in their PR campaign. If you just want them to buy Chelsea and you want to give them this preferential treatment, we're all wasting money here. We're wasting a lot of time and physical and emotional energy in our campaign and bid to buy Chelsea Football Club. Call the whole thing off and give it to the Ricketts. But the fans would not want that, and there's already, we know about the hashtag campaign online, which is important, say no to Ricketts, say no to Ricketts family, and hashtag buck off, which is obviously Bruce Buck. That will hurt their campaign in the digital social media age, but it won't necessarily be enough. And you'd think at this point Chelsea fans who have access to Stamford Bridge would be thinking of taking to the streets. In the letter sent to the bidding groups on March the 1st, it was stressed that no contact should be made with the Chelsea executive during the sale process. Yet meetings are being set up. However, when the Ricketts family realised there was opposition to their bid among Chelsea fans because of the Islamophobic remarks made by Joe Ricketts in 2019, Tom Ricketts, Joe's son, contacted Bruce Buck to broker a meeting with Canterville, the club's first black player. It's not just those Islamophobic emails as well. There's the black people being referenced as you people from members of their family. There's really loads and loads of stuff. Chelsea want to be diverse and inclusive and for everyone, and they just come with so much shady baggage. Another quote here: "Why has Bruce helped the Ricketts to organise this meeting?" The bid insider said. "It's a joke. He's actually helping them to cleanse their reputation when we have all been told we can't speak to the Chelsea executive until we have the opportunity to meet them next week." Of course, next week is when the bidders can meet Bruce Buck, Granovskaya, Thomas Tuchel, maybe someone else. I forget when they get to present, I suppose, their case. So that's, a breach there. Reports claim that the meeting took place in the club suite named after Canterville, with Gary Trousdale a patron of the Paul Canterville Foundation. Quote, "Paul gave Tom Ricketts a severe grilling, and Tom Ricketts apologised to him for those comments that had been made by his relatives." Okay, great. Okay, so look, this is where we're at, man. Let's talk about this. It's not just the Islamophobic remarks. There's a bunch more. The Ricketts as extended family are not looked upon positively by many, many people, whether it's sporting, whether it's political, whether it's just off the pitch, general opinion. Chelsea fans, from altogether, you might say the majority of fans want Todd Boehly, and that's probably true, but the vast majority of Chelsea fans do not want the Ricketts family near the club. Chelsea want to be an inclusive club, and they want the right kind of owners with no dark history, no skeletons in their closet. Excuse me. And there seems to be a problem in the process. This mystery bidder who's like, this is good, by the way, let's have it right, this is good PR for this bidder to make the Ricketts PR, and indeed Raine's PR, look even worse. Much, much worse. Like, Raine's PR isn't coming so good out of this. They're the bank that's been, put in charge of in charge of the biggest club sale in history in terms of financial worth, and they've not done it great so far. The people they've included are large. Some of them are, problematic. There's loads of problems in terms of. Who am I to criticise? Because I'm not seeing behind the scene. I can't see the financial packages and presentations that actually make them feasible candidates. So they might be doing a generally good job. But there's been much criticism for Raine before this incident. And now you've got, of course, bidders saying, look, this is a nonsense. We're not allowed to meet the chairman or anyone involved with Chelsea until said date. This is being breached. He's meeting people before, and he's trying to clean and cleanse the reputation of the Ricketts so they can come in and buy Chelsea. His connection, Bruce Buck, in this instance, is messed up. The fact how Bruce Buck's doing it is wrong. The fact how Raine is allowing it to happen is wrong. And you can completely understand why bidders would be upset with this process, thinking it's breach. Saying, look, if you want to just welcome them in and give them preferential treatment, just do it. We as fans, I'm not speaking for everyone, but seemingly largely, most of us as fans, have said, no thank you, no way. And then they see these guys saying, look, we'll just back down if you're going to let them in. No, don't back down. We want you. And at this point now, the way Chelsea's being reported on the No to Ricketts campaign, whether it's on social media or indeed normal, media, not new media, like TV media, Sky Sports, they know there's been a huge pushback on the Ricketts, and this will get worse. People will go to Stamford Bridge. I'm sure as I'm filming this, conversations will be had about setting up protests out Stamford Bridge. I'm just certain it will be. if they get any closer, Chelsea fans will stand up. You can't come into a club and be like, hey, you all hate me, I've just bought your club. Like, over time, it took time of the cultivation of hate for the Cronkies with, Arsenal. Mike Ashley slowly, destroyed Newcastle in many ways. The Glazers, granted, there was protests, some noise initially when they bought Man United because of how they bought Man United with leverage, but over time it took more time to cultivate. They spend a lot of money, by the way, so it's a shady area with the Glazers, but to start your ownership with the majority of your fan base like hating you, I guess. Yes, you could say, oh, they might come in, they know how sports work. They come in and say, right, we're going to sell Lukaku at a loss because it's clearly not working, and we're going to buy Erling Haaland and Declan Rice, and we'll win the Premier League next season. I know that's obviously like dream world in terms of sporting on the pitch, but if that happened, and then the fans would be like, all right, many fans would be. I'm not speaking for everyone again, and I understand why you want to watch your team win, you're not on the earth for long. You want to watch your football team win, and you want to like eat nice food, and you want to be nice to people. These like hedonistic, immediate things. But this is problematic. Chelsea fans do not want the Ricketts family in, and I think they'll probably take to the streets at this point. And Raine have a lot of answering to do because this is preferential treatment to a bidder who they want in, and they're like, okay, they're not winning, what can we do? Oh, we'll do meetings with like this legend of Chelsea, this guy, this black guy, he does loads of work for anti-discrimination, anti-racism. Sweet, we'll do all we can to help you, mate. Well, Raine has to stand up now because there will be questions, they will be critiqued rightly, and the fans have to have a say here. You have to have a say. I have to have a say. You have to. This 2022. In digital social media age where people are trying to clean up football, trying to clean up their ethics, their, how they live and how clubs are run, the fans have to accept a new owner. Simple. Let me know what you think, man. Comment down below, and thank you for liking the video and subscribing. See you soon.
Way so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble.